Bloody hell, one flight of stairs and I'm knackered. I need to get out more. Still, it's nice to be home, at least. Well, home to a hobbit hole anyway. Let's get some light in here.
A couple of months ago, I got a call from a friend who said, why don't you come and do your next vlog at mine? And knowing where this guy lives, I couldn't say no. Basically, it was in my old hometown of Crowborough, where I grew up. And I've just got back from a 2-day session. I smell like a rhino's arse, but it was well worth it. Anyway, let's roll the tape and tape. Let me take you back to my roots.
This is the beautiful Carp Syndicate down in Crowborough in East Sussex, and it's run and owned by Ash Groom and family. It comprises of 3 lakes, Mine Pit, Steve's Lake, and the mighty Oak. Now, like I said, we've only got 2 nights on this beautiful venue, but just being on this venue is enough for me. Of course, a carp would be great too, but... Dear carp gods, please, please, can I have a lovely carp? Full stop. If this is not possible, please, can I have a Domino's pizza instead? Full stop. Yours faithfully, Simon. P.S. Don't worry about the pineapple. Wow, what a beautiful first morning. And I slept like a log, which actually isn't that great, is it? As I would like to have been woken up by my alarms, but hey.
Always on my mind and way out of my league. You were born to be on display, and I'm hard to read. I thought of you, hoping that the ripples would make you notice me. And now you're here, sunlight on the ripples, somehow you noticed me.
So, with a little help from Ash, and the little time that I got to explore last night, this is what I've got out in front of me. So this is me and my setup here. there's a light northerly blowing towards us, and I'm finding there's a real mixture of depths in this place. There's a slightly deeper channel to my right, and it gets shallower into the middle of the lake. I found a deeper part here, which I'm going to put my middle rod. My right rod is going on this island, and my left is going in the mid-channel on my left. The middle section here in yellow, well, that's out of bounds, and funny enough, that's where I'm seeing quite a lot of shows. But they are showing about, so that's good news. Now, because we got here late yesterday, I didn't put a lot of bait out, so I'm thinking about putting a bit of bait out this afternoon and then fishing hard tonight. All these areas are easily accessible, so I can deliver it by a spoon or even some spod later.
Whatever you decide to do, I will keep sending new ripples to you.
Aha, he's awake. That's my son Aiden.
I thought of you, hoping that the ripples would make you notice me, notice me.
Now, I know this is a tricky water, but I've been given some good advice, and hopefully the fish play ball. So with everything in place and breakfast calling, we play the waiting game, I guess. The sun's climbing high in the sky now, and the weather's warming up. Ideal for some surface fishing. Now, they're not known for taking a floater from the big lake, but over on the little lake, it's an ideal opportunity. And I think, well, hang on a second. Who's that there? Well, if it's not Mr. Blair, now this should be interesting. He looks like he's trying the old pop-up worm rig. Oh my goodness, it's a massacre! My God! I guess it's a different approach, though, to the standard boilies and pop-ups. It does look tempting, though. Be interesting to see where he puts this.
Right, let's get her out there. Switch things up a little bit and decided to incorporate a running rig into the setup. And even though last night I fished with 12mm boilies, which I doubt very few people will, I'm still conscious that these carp have seen it all the different coloured pop-ups and bottom baits and pellets. So I'm going in with some worms just for the day. The big advantage is I don't think many other anglers will have used them, and that's purely down to the phenomenal amount of perch that are in here. But incorporating the running rig, so I get really good indication should I hook up to a little perch. And like I say, the fact that they're a little bit different, I'm hoping on a bright sunny day like today, I can nick a nice daytime bonus carp. That's the plan anyway. Just going to ship that out onto a ledge just this side of the bar, which I identified just before dark last night, making a few casts. It's obviously a natural patrol route between those two islands. And yeah, hoping to get it out there nice and discreetly, rather than loads more casting now and making disturbance. Hopefully Si will be round for a little bit. Had such a lovely chat with him this morning. A couple of cups of coffee as the sun was coming up. Just a few more sections, just off the edge of these reeds out here. Perfect. Right, that's it now, I'm going.
These baiting poles are ideal for keeping that noise level down, you know, going for that stealth approach. know you spent the last half an hour trying to find that spot and tying the rig, etc. So why don't you just reel in and we'll go and stalk the mine pit? What do you reckon? Sorry, dude. He really is the nicest guy in fishing. And once I'd picked myself up and wiped the blood off my nose, we reeled in and we went stalking.
Mine pit?
Mine pit.
Yeah. And you fished it before, though, haven't you?
I have.
Yeah.
It's my favourite one.
Yeah.
Which would shock most people because the other two lakes got huge carp in, but I just like this one.
Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it?
It's the maturest of the three.
Yeah.
It's intimate.
Yeah, it's easy.
No. It's not easy. Carp fishing ain't easy, Si. No, sadly it's not easy.
Tell me about it.
But the rewards is to be had, you know.
Yeah.
There's one particular ghostie I'd love to catch, which is actually the biggest fish in the lake.
Yeah.
Sort of goes sort of low 30s, and typical ash, everything's sort of hand selected, so they're all absolutely stunning and unique.
Yeah, we've seen a couple just over there, but...
Yeah, this looks good. Only issue we've got here is quite choppy.
Yeah.
So you put these sort of light floaters out, they soon drift off where you want them to be.
Yeah.
Might be that maybe later on this evening, so when that wind backs off,
Yeah.
might be the best time of the day to try for it. But
Yeah.
that just took. I shouldn't. That was bad timing on my part, but he just come up and took one.
Will that spook it then?
It didn't sort of create any kind of vortex
Yeah.
or disruption, so no, he looks pretty content, but
Okay.
maybe just leave that now for a minute and watch it. And again, I just saw it rock then.
Okay.
And again,
Yeah. Yes.
But you know, you think of the cast, yes, we can go up a little bit further to the tree,
Yeah.
the wind's going the right way, so it'd be a case of overcasting the back of the island,
Yeah.
with your float gently retrieving it, and then you want that wind to bring it round
Bring it
on a
in.
tight line. All the time you're going to be mending the line to stay in direct contact, no
Right.
slack whatsoever.
It's
Yeah.
feeding there, but...
And yeah, you've got to kind of, because you can't cast to those fish,
No.
you're going to have to use the wind to your advantage to swing it round, and then I'd slowly retrieve it back into position.
Okay.
The other option would be, that's not a great branch for it, but you know, and I mentioned this to you this morning,
Yeah.
would be taking the float off.
Yeah.
What pound line have you got?
I think it's 10.
Yeah, so that should be okay. And just fishing free line, so
Right.
hook straight onto the line,
Yeah.
and mounting just a single hook bait, hoping that you know you
get
can
the
get out
distance.
there,
Yeah.
and maybe just getting it to dangle off one of them branches, because as you can see, you know, they're not,
Yeah.
possibly with a big float in there and lots of line on the surface of the water, it might just make them vacate the area altogether. Where if
Right.
you can get that line dropping down, so
Right.
it's just the hook bait on the surface,
Yeah.
it can often be the way to trip up really, really wary fish.
Yeah. That's exciting. It's such an exciting way to fish.
Mate, I'd do it all day. I could like not fish anywhere. I could stand up here with this catapult and pat, and again.
Oh, yes.
Because I tell you what it is for me, mate. There's so much doubt in carp fishing, in my head anyway. Has it tangled? Have I put too much bait out? Is there even any carp there?
Yeah.
You know, and you're questioning everything. Whereas now, you and I know there's a carp
There's a fish
there.
there. Yeah, exactly.
And it's eating.
Yeah.
And that makes me content.
Yeah,
that makes
yeah.
me happy,
Yeah.
like that.
You've got something to aim for.
Yeah,
you know,
because if we stand here for another 15 minutes and see nothing else, we can leave.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
I'm not wasting my time or my day. It just makes me happy.
Yeah. I think it comes back to like the old float thing, like when you're a
Yeah.
kid watching the float, and you know you've actually got something to look at.
Yeah.
Oh, it's cool. I love
You
it.
know, and I always say that to people. You know, if you went out for a day's float fishing, really, Si,
Yeah.
would you start in the morning, cast your float out, and sit there for 2, 3, 4, 8, 10 hours?
Yeah. Just watching that. Yeah.
Us carp anglers, we'll happily sit and look at the highlights and bobbins doing nothing, sometimes for days and days on end. And that is, for me as an angler, that it's quite frustrating.
Yes.
This is why I'll always opt to try and be proactive and look for an opportunity.
I suppose, like when you're zig fishing, you see a fish, you can cast to it.
Yeah.
You might. It's kind of a little kind of
Similar.
halfway.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, don't get me wrong, I've got nothing against bite alarms or boilies or hair rigs.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, if they're colouring up the water there,
Yeah, yeah.
and I can lower my Ronnie rig or my whatever rig in there,
Yeah, yeah.
and I can still see it pluming and bubbling and I'm getting twitches, it's just as exciting as this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's that... that's the bit I struggle to deal with, that bit. It's the uncertainty, I think.
Yeah.
It's the uncertainty.
And also, you're obviously a hunter as well.
Yeah.
You're actually chasing your prize. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, it's funny, I think when there's a lot more stock, obviously, and they're used to taking floaters, it actually, it's a different thing, it's a different game. They're actually quite competitive. And
then you're trying to catch 10 or 15. Yeah, go on. But I don't think he took it. I can
No,
still
he
see
didn't.
the bait light.
He's there because the little bubbles come out there. But yeah.
Yeah, I think I know where you're going with that. You know, I, like everyone, do love a good smash up.
Yeah.
You know, when you fill your boots, and you've lost count of how many you've caught, and again.
Oh, yeah.
But I also really enjoy days very similar to today, where you're looking for one bite and you're going to have to work. So then it becomes a different level of rewarding.
Yeah,
you
definitely.
know, really more memorable almost.
Yeah. I'm kind of not there yet. I'm just trying to find fish at the moment, which is kind of like, you know, heavy stocked. I'm just trying to get the bend in the rod thing.
Yeah.
But this is a completely different kettle of fish.
Yeah.
You know, where you actually have to hunt that one prize.
Yeah,
is worth 20,
you might only get one opportunity all day, but the reward.
Yeah. It's funny, isn't it? Like, let's say the whole thing about not taking off the top in the big lakes, and they're just not used to it, and I don't know. I think because I've been only fishing commercials, and you know, I'm used to them just going blah, 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 blah. Like, it's just such a different way, isn't it? It's a different thing.
And again, more confidently.
Yeah.
Like complete drop over. But I'm still think it's one carp.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's one carp that we could have. Or you could, anyway. Say what? That would definitely be in the tree for me. That is an amazing technique. I know you've got to get that cast, but to get the line off the water and to just dangle that bait just in, it is a real art. Come on, baby. Come on.
No! No! It come out of the tree perfect!
Oh mate, unlucky dude.
That's fishing!
Oh man!
And that's all the action for today, folks.
With the afternoon creeping by and the mine pit not playing ball, we head back to our swims. We get a couple of hours fishing before dinner time. I'm going to put a little bit of bait out in the left part of the channel just to see if I can stop anything in its tracks going past the island. I had a really good hit of some fish last week, so I'm using very similar tactics. That's mesh stocking with pellet, crush boilies and lots of liquid. I'm using a standard spinner rig with a small yellow-eyed beak pop-up. fairly decent drop on my left rod, and my middle rod's a little bit softer, but nothing to worry about. Oh, wait a second. It looks like the carp gods have answered my prayers. Yeah, there's not a carp, but it is a Domino's. There's nothing better than an open fire on a cool spring evening. Or you could just sit around talking books all evening, drinking beer and eating pizza. The choice is yours. There are some classic stories coming out here. I'm glad I've got the volume down though. There are some small stories. And there are some tall stories. But it's all good. It's great to see the guys from behind the camera in front and actually having a good time and relaxing. So if you didn't know, this is John, he's my good friend, he's on camera 1, and this is my son Aidan, he's on camera 2, and that guy there is a fat pig. Right. Get back to work, lazy It's another gorgeous morning and lots of new life on the water. But unfortunately, nothing from below. I think in the back of my mind, I always thought that this was going to be a difficult egg to crack. But there's more to fishing than fishing, right? I was up at first light this morning, messaging with Alan, and he's seen nothing and heard nothing. So I don't feel too bad. So we've got about an hour before we have to leave for home. We've still got to do the interview with Alan, and I want to do a lap of the lake to see if there's any other wildlife about. And so I get the beast out. I love this lens. It just gives me that extra reach so I can get closer to wildlife. This place is an oasis for wildlife. It is simply stunning. Next time, I'm just going to bring my cameras. Well, I'm sure you know him. He's the face of Nash, he's the face of Eurobanks, he's 100 miles an hour, he's an awesome angler and a really nice guy. This is Adam Blair. Let's calm this down a little bit, slow down the BPMs. Let's take a slightly different tact on this.
Mate. Great timing.
Let me put that down.
That's fine. That's all part of it, man. That's all part of it. Mate, it's been a while. It's been a long time. Man. It's been a long time. I think we bumped into each other at the shows.
Most shows I would have seen you.
Yeah.
But it's classic.
Yeah.
Hi, Ty, you alright? Yeah, how's Jane? Yeah, great, bye. Yeah.
Oh man, that's cool, dude. But you're well?
Very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff. You're out fishing.
As much as I can.
Good man.
Yeah.
Good man. Obviously, we worked together quite a while ago, quite a long time ago. And business is good.
Business is great, mate.
Good.
Yeah. But you know, Ty, like, make no bones about it. And I put this on a story before I come down. Yeah. When I joined Nash, you know, it wasn't a small company, but it compared to today,
Yeah.
it was a very small company, and you were, you know, a big part of.
Mate, it was awesome.
Yeah,
Good
you
fun,
know,
man.
we didn't have a design house. All we did, I think we outsourced.
Yeah,
but, you know,
yeah.
You were probably the first, you and Jane and the other guys at Sky Blue, you were the first people that joined when I joined, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah,
You were
yeah.
like the new era.
Yeah,
Part of that new era. So yeah, mega memories,
Yeah, man.
Mega
yeah.
memories.
I remember sort of doing sort of development meetings with you, and we sort of, well, we dreamed up Scope and
Yeah.
Indulgence and Barrowlogic and all these amazing brands, man. And but you know, great memories, and you know, it's amazing to see the brand is still crazy strong.
Yes.
Yeah, that's wicked, mate.
But yeah, I used to love coming up to, I don't know if we can say Coggeshall.
Yeah,
I used
yeah.
to love coming to the Sky Blue offices. I'd come maybe sometimes 2 or 3 times a week, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Had a few good evening meetings with you there.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, no, mega mate. Mega.
Awesome. So, I'm talking about your fishing, your love of fishing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you've obviously fished from a nipper,
Yeah,
and you've still got the passion.
big time.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't stun me, but yeah, still like coming down to fish with you over the last couple of nights. Yeah, I'm still like butterflies. Still,
That's
nothing's changed.
Yeah.
You know, from those, like you suggest, those early nippy years,
Yeah,
going
yeah,
with my dad.
Yeah.
I don't think the feeling's changed at all.
Yeah.
And I put that down to the lack of it.
Right. Yeah.
You know, contrary to what people may believe, you know, I'm not a full-time angler. It's not my job.
Yeah.
And prior to coming on this session with you, I hadn't been by the water fishing for 8 days.
Right.
Which means that in that 8-day period, all I want to do is go fishing again. You know, day 7, you're getting more excited. Day 6, day 5, and like I remember ringing you. I said, "One more sleep, Si. One more sleep." Like
It's like Christmas.
and I think, you know, that's how you maintain that buzz.
Yeah,
People, what's the saying? It's too much of a good thing.
Yes,
You know,
yeah.
and I know, not that I've ever been in a position where I've fished relentlessly, but I do know that if I was ever in that position where every morning I got up and every morning I had to fish, of course the buzz wouldn't be there. It wouldn't. It's not sustainable.
No,
in that
that's
respect.
definitely, yeah. Oh man, that's good, man. But your love and the passion, I mean, obviously you can see it in everything you do, whether it's your product or your lifestyle, and you've got a lovely fam, and yeah, that's awesome, man. That's really cool.
We talked about it, I think, you know, if I look back on what am I good at? You know, I was dreadful at sport. You know, I was relatively okay academically. I'm an okay angler. You know, I'm good at. What am I really good at? I'm good at getting up in the morning and making the most of the day. And I think if I go, I'd like to go to my grave with people just thinking that he was good at life. He was good at life, like, and
You are good at that, mate.
That makes me happy, Si. You know, like I say, I'm not a phenomenal angler. I'm not particularly gifted in it, but I reckon I'm pretty good at getting up in the morning and getting the best out of it. Even on a really poor day, and you know, I can always bring the morale up.
Yeah, you're a very positive person.
Yeah,
I love that, man. That's really, really cool. So obviously you've just gone through this crazy lockdown period, and it's just, you know, a nightmare for everybody.
Yeah.
How have you kept your positivity? How have you kind of, you know, seen that light at the end of the tunnel?
Yeah, of course. It's been difficult for everyone.
Yeah.
You know, whether that's my children at 5 and 6, or whether it's, you know, elderly people. Everyone's struggled in some capacity. And I'm not going to lie, Si, in the early stages of it, I was really worried about my future, really worried about the business. And I suppose going back to the discussion we just had a minute ago, there was probably a couple of weeks where I really didn't know the answers. I couldn't see, I suppose when you kind of control your own destiny each day and that's taken away from you, those first couple of weeks I was like, I don't know what to do. You know? But quickly you realise that life will go on in whatever way, shape or form, and just made the most of each day. I was really lucky that my work never really stopped. So my mind's very active still. Yeah, I was probably one of the lucky ones.
Yeah.
Throughout it all.
Yeah. I mean, the fishing industry's obviously
Fishing industry's done very well.
Yeah.
But yeah, that first lockdown, I decided, because I'm not fantastic on social media in terms of giving back to your followers, in terms of replying to them, I was like, I'm going to make some effort now. I've got a bit more time on my hands that I don't normally have. And did the lockdown lives each day. And
really good.
Family time.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Perfect, man.
That for me, I was only speaking with someone about it a couple of weeks ago. I didn't get furloughed. Carried on working 100 miles an hour. And a lot of people, a big percentage of the population right across the world, no doubt, will always remember this pandemic as a time when they got free money, loads of free time. Like, it will never be that memory to me, you know. But what it will be is certainly that first lockdown, those sort of first 3 months, it'll be a time that I probably would have never got, and maybe will never get again, where I got to spend so much more time with my girls.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And they're growing up fast.
Rapid. It's that classic when you're a father, you know. Everyone says to you when you have kids, they'll grow up so quick, and you think, yeah, all right, like, not that quick, but they do. They really do, mate. So yeah, that's what I think I'm most blessed with. I know, mate. I know. That's what I said when I said, Jesus, you shot up, like. Mental.
Oh dear. You know, it's great to see the young guys coming into the sport or the hobby and, you know, picking it up and getting some gear and going out. What would you give them, you know, a little bit of advice for them to how they get on and how to sort of achieve what they want to do? And
I suppose it depends on what they want.
Yeah.
You know, what do they want to do? If I could write the rule book, you know, it would be different to how it is in terms of, as you suggest, people can come into carp fishing nowadays and in a flash potentially join somewhere like this amazing syndicate. If there's a bit of money behind them, maybe mum or dad's, you know, they can buy all the gear. You know, so it's very different to when I was growing up in terms of accessibility, the amount of big carp available. And it will never happen, but if I could write the rule book, I would ban it all. You know, and I would insist that people went through
the stages.
Yeah, man. If for no other reason, Si, not because I want the waters quieter or
any selfish reason.
No selfish reason. No. It's twofold. They would be better anglers for it at the end of it. And they would enjoy it so much more. You know, we were here just a week ago. And Henry, but I love him, man. You could say he's been fishing 10 minutes. He hasn't. He's been fishing a long time. But as a dedicated carp angler, he's only been fishing a couple of years, you know. And he was in this swim, ironically. And Ash mentioned this to me as well. He was so, not desperate, that's the wrong word, but he wanted so badly to catch one of these big uns. And he didn't.
No. Okay.
You know, he caught one, a 27 pounder, but that wasn't what he wanted. He wanted one of these big uns. And I said to Ash when I come down this time, I said, I'm so happy he didn't. I don't take that the wrong way, Henry. But because he didn't catch one, he wants to come back now. And because he didn't catch one, he went away questioning what he did that wasn't correct or what wasn't right, and he's thinking now, how can I improve? How can I be a better angler for it? Should he have come into this swim? Should he have put his rods out and that night caught 2 40-pounders? Is that not? The acceleration's too much, you know? And if I could have my wish, it would be people had to climb a ladder. You've done it.
Exactly.
You've done it. I've done it.
But
But in this day and age, if you know the right people, if you've got the money behind you, maybe time on your side, you can catch big carp from the off.
Yeah, but like you say, that actual progression of knowledge, and again, once you kind of reach that point, where do you go from there? Do you
there is that
sell
question.
Your gear?
There absolutely is that question, Si. If you're doing it to catch big carp, if you want to go carp fishing to catch big carp, and from the off you're catching big carp, where does it take you? You know, probably to eBay, probably to sell all your gear, and then you want to improve your handicap at golf.
Exactly. I mean, I say once you get to that level, I mean, obviously, everybody takes different things
Yeah, of
from the
course.
experience.
Yeah.
For me, it's just being outside and being with nature, and fishing almost comes secondary. You know what I mean? I kind of bolt this on to looking at the wildlife, or just being in the sun, you know, getting some vitamin D in your skin. But I just feel that it's, you know, there's so much more to fishing than just catching big fish.
For sure.
Yeah, and that's
sure.
that's what if I had to say anything, you know, not that I'm a big fish angler. I just enjoy being outside and being one with nature, really.
So to answer the question, advice to youngsters would be try and take a big step back. Don't go for the end goal immediately, and try and learn the trade.
Yeah,
and there's so much to learn.
Yes. Yeah.
And enjoy the journey,
Yeah.
as opposed to just looking. This is a right poor analogy, but there's something incredibly rewarding about taking some mince, chopping some onions, you know, chopping some fresh herbs, toasting a brioche bun, cutting an iceberg. There's something incredibly rewarding about sitting down and eating that burger.
Yeah.
As opposed to going to McDonald's, have a double cheeseburger, please. Like, you know, now I'm as bad as the next person for sometimes stopping off and grabbing a Macca's, but there is something much more rewarding about preparing it and cooking it yourself.
100%.
I would say look at your carp fishing in a similar way. Enjoy that journey.
Yeah, that's an awesome. I like that analogy, Mackie D one. We have to remember that one, boys. Yeah. On the way home. Your thoughts on like traditional versus modern techniques, like, you know, an approach and gear and.
Let's talk gear.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go out and use a split cane rod and a centre pin and quill floats when there's so much better materials, products, technology available to me. I'm not very good at embracing technology, but certainly yes, I want a decent bit of carbon.
Yeah.
I want a reel with a really good drag on it.
Yes.
So no, I'm definitely more of the modern scene in that respect.
Yeah.
Techniques, to be honest, Si, you know it, everything's getting reinvented.
Yes.
You know, there's been a few big radical sort of shakers within the scene, the hair rig, boilies, but really we are kind of reinventing
Yes.
stuff that at some point in history, someone created some form of chod rig or someone used some kind of zig rig. So
Yes.
yeah, I think you need to embrace what's available to you. I see a lot of negativity on social media where people are like, yeah, you shouldn't use a bait boat, you shouldn't use drones, you know. And I never reply or anything, but I think to myself, the same people making those comments will be the same people that are using a shot-bought fishing rod. You know, they haven't sat there at home, they haven't rolled the carbon, they haven't baked it, they haven't whipped those guides on, they haven't varnished it, they haven't, but they feel that they can put themselves on a pedestal to moan about someone using a ready-tied rig, for example. You know, and there's, I think you need to embrace what's available to us. And
100%. Yeah, I mean, technology, I think, you know, whatever you do, even when you're using your phone on the bank, you know, I mean, you know, if it's that form of entertainment or if it's something to help you achieve, you know, why not really? I think, and also it's such a changing market and the audience is getting much smarter and smarter.
Different generations, you know, if you look at your son, you know, he got brought up in a world of computing. No, but you know, if you were a fisherman age, you would have a deeper, for example. You know, you would be using these apps and stuff like this not just the new generation, you know, just people that embrace technology, and they catch a lot of fish as a result of that technology. I will say though, you know, for me, maybe it's just what I enjoy, and we witnessed this yesterday. You can't beat a rod, reel, reliable line and a hook.
Yes.
You know, you can have the most fancy setups in the world, but yesterday, what it required to try and get a bite was a hook and line. You know, and the skill was in the cast. The skill was in my hand-to-eye coordination, which was dreadful. I failed.
It's amazing. I thought your casting was awesome.
That was the skill, you know, and that, you know, you were a little bit in awe. You were like, this is incredible. But I wouldn't have learnt that as an instant carp angler, because I would have actually learnt how to use the GPS on my bait boat instead, or how to wire my. my dad taught me that,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, the importance of accurate casting, the
Yes.
importance of casting to the right place. So I think to be a competent and successful angler in this day and age, it's he who can draw both
Yes.
of those things,
Yeah,
all of that
yeah.
grassroots knowledge,
Yeah, yeah.
and bring in modern techniques and technology.
Yeah.
They're the ones at the top of their game.
Yeah. And like we were saying earlier about, teaching the youngsters, they kind of got to know the basics and then kind of build up. They can, they can still use technology, but take it in sort of, small increments.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
Obviously, you're an incredibly busy man. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh man, I've loved it. I've absolutely thoroughly enjoyed myself.
But how do you manage time, between obviously work and family and life?
We spoke about it yesterday.
Yeah.
I've got Chloe.
Yeah.
So I picked the right partner.
Yeah.
We
The
we came together, and so I've got Chloe,
Yeah.
who absolutely supports everything I do. It helps tenfold that she works for Nash.
Yeah.
So, I always say, like, from the outside looking in, people are like, how'd you do it? Like, she must, like, no, you've got to understand, she works for the company. She's Kev's PA, so
Yeah.
she's never going to get anyone closer to the business than she is.
Yeah.
She's been there, with the exception of when we had the children, 9 years now. So when I say, babe, I'm going fishing, she knows that it's for the business.
Yes.
I'm working. It's not like maybe other husbands or wives watching this that turn around to their partner and say, yeah, I've got to go, working this weekend, but it's a little bit of fishing, and they're going, cut.
Whatever.
You might have it with Jane, but Jane, I've got to go. Jane, and she's going, no, you don't, no. But like with Chloe, it's like she gets it and understands it. So
Yeah.
that's really important.
Yeah.
And it's also a case of balance. Me and Chloe have got this like pretty strict agenda. Every few months we sit down, we look at each other's diaries and calendars. Basically, I'll say, like, I'm not going to be here then, and I don't take the piss after that.
Yeah.
So even if it's a big moon phase, big low pressure coming in, or all the boys are going fishing, or there's a big rave on at the weekend,
Yeah.
if it's not in the diary, I can't go side,
No.
And I think that's when I would let her down,
Yes.
my family down, and myself down if I started to be that person going, well, I'm going to be selfish, and I am going because there's a big new moon phase on.
Yeah.
As long as I stick to
Yeah.
that work.
There's some rules.
Some ground rules,
Yeah,
mate. You need
yeah.
rules, don't you?
Yeah,
You need
100%.
rules.
Yeah.
And she, if I am taking the piss, she's not scared to speak out.
I know that one.
You know?
I know that one, Jane. Yep, definitely.
And when she speaks out, more often than not, I am in the wrong, she's right, and yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's also important, not important, but I love what I do.
Yeah.
So, very cliche saying, if you can make work something you love, you'll
Yeah.
never feel like you've worked a day in your
Yeah,
life.
yeah,
And
yeah.
that is very much.
Yeah, 100%, definitely. That is a
man.
must. Yeah, I mean, I guess that with the youngsters coming into, who want to be anglers or want to be sponsored anglers, and, there's a lot of graft, there's a lot of work you have to do. And I always say this about people in creative, is that you have to go through 90% of the crap before you actually get any gold. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to do the work.
Yeah, man.
You know?
I can't. Well, I work, but I can't stress it enough. Like, I've been at Nash nearly 15 years, and I have worked hard every day. But pre that, since I was 13, I've always done something in the fishing tackle industry.
Yeah.
It wasn't a case of like I left school, walked into a job at Nash. I've been up so many steps of the ladder.
Yeah.
And opportunities get presented to you.
Yeah.
It's how you embrace those opportunities. It's what you do with those.
Yeah.
Look, if you're a youngster watching this and you'd love to work in the fishing tackle industry, it is possible.
Yeah.
It is
possible.
There's so many jobs available. Not everyone will be able to do it, of course not, but don't think for 1 minute you can't make a dream a reality. Just don't think it'll be easy.
No, exactly.
I want to work for McLaren. Well, you can go and work for McLaren, but you're going to have to work really. Well, I want to be a professional footballer. We need them.
Yeah.
All these jobs are out there in whatever industry or you've just got. I've had to work really hard.
Yeah.
Make no bones about it. Like.
Yeah. My Katie's boyfriend works for McLaren. So
Wow, you know, and he wouldn't.
Good one, Dan.
He won't have just like got up one morning, opened the paper, seen a job advert for McLaren. Oh yeah, can I have the job, please?
No.
It wouldn't have
He's
been
a
like that.
grafter.
So he would have had to work.
Exactly,
so hard to
man.
get to that position.
Exactly. Got to put the graft in to
Yeah.
get the reward.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
And there's no one who grafts harder than you, mate. It was great to see you. I'm looking forward to our next session, and hopefully we'll catch a fish or two. Who knows, but safe journeys home, and I'll speak to you soon. Cue the sad music. Ugh. I guess you know what happens next. The dreaded pack down. The dry pack down, that is. I hate packing down. I'm gonna go meet Alan by the... What the... No way. He was literally packed and ready to go. Bloody hell. He's only in. I can't believe it. That's inconceivable. That's the last knockings. Bloody hell. Save the best till last or what? This is where the fish rolls and it flicks off the peck and then it just drops. I'm only joking. This is incredible. He's holding his own, this fish. He's giving a really decent scrap.
Yeah, bro!
Wow, what an achievement. That is, well, just incredible. I mean, you saw how hard it was earlier, but here he is, keys in one hand, rod in the other, and a fish in the net. Incredible. Well, let's get it out of the water and get a proper look at her.
Now, as I said when we were sitting down having that lovely coffee and just a chat and a catch up, God, he's angry. People go for many different reasons carp fishing, to get away from a busy, stressful job, to enjoy the nature, and I go for lots of different reasons too, but fundamentally I go to catch. And with the motor fully loaded, packed up, I was literally ready to say goodbye to the lads. I thought, nah, have one last go, have one more look. And I did, and I found an opportunity, and literally on final knock-ins, I've made it happen. And what a mega common it is. Very simple tactics. Again, we talked about this in the interview. Hook and line, hook, line, soft hookable floater, and some good old passion and motivation. I am proper made up. What a way to end a really, really enjoyable 2-night stay down at the Carp Syndicate. Thanks, Ash. As always, thank you.
Catching a fish is incredible, but sharing the experience is awesome.
What an amazing thing. Last knockage,
Proper
man.
last knockage, yeah.
But you did it. Absolutely amazing.
Meg one. Recognise it, Ash?
No, mate. Well done.
Thank you.
Well done. No.
Stunning. Look at that. It's the size of it.
He's got some fins, that's for sure.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well done, mate.
Never
Awesome.
a great film without carp. So I'm going with a big smile on my face now.
Well, there you go. Positivity restored. And it would seem rude of us not to have a quick chat with Ash about this beautiful location, the Carp Syndicate.
Thank you for having us over here, mate.
Pleasure, mate.
Always an
Pleasure.
amazing experience and lovely to see you.
And yeah, likewise, mate. Likewise. Long
So,
time.
give us a little bit of an overview. So, how did it all start?
About 18 years ago,
Yeah.
I think it was then, I was on a day ticket water, very, very well established day ticket water, and I was just fed up.
Yeah.
And I saw a fish dropped on its head, and it made me question, why am I sitting with these sort of people?
Yeah.
I want my own thing. And we bought this beautiful bit of land here.
It's amazing.
And we dug mine pit. That's where it all started.
Okay. So this is the first one.
This was our first one.
Yeah.
This one now is about 16 years old.
Yeah.
It was only ever going to be for my friends and my family,
Yeah.
my son, my daughter, and then it kind of just grew. It was an animal, and we became very well known. You designed our logo,
Yeah.
going back all those years, and yeah, Oak was in the planning really.
Right.
It took 2 years to get through planning stages with the council. Very expensive,
Yes.
horrendously expensive, big bank loan, mortgage, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I had some great members,
Yeah,
really, really cool members that backed me even before that lake was dug.
Yeah.
They were like, this is it, this is what we want.
Yeah.
You're on the right path, Ash. This is what we all want from a fishery.
Yeah.
So I knew what I wanted, what other people wanted, and it is just gone. And Oak has just become a massive flagship for us.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
it's taken
stunning,
us from like the Sunday League to the Premier League.
Yeah.
It really has. I mean, we stocked it with some of the very, very best fish in the country. The biggest fish in there we stocked was £17.10.
Right.
Fiv's Mirror, as it's called. And we've now got dozens of 40s.
Yeah.
You know, it's an incredible stock. You know, 95% of the fish are over £30.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, but it's hard, as you know.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you know.
Yes.
It is hard.
Yeah.
It was never designed to be a runs water. Never
No.
designed to be an easy water. None of my lakes are. You know, mine pit. We've got 28 carp in here, all hand picked.
Yeah.
Across the whole complex, we've got about 157 carp.
Right. Okay.
Somewhere along that, a few homegrowns that we don't even know about.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're all hand-picked, 99% of them from the VS stable.
Yeah.
And we're getting immense growth rates. Immense growth rates, and you know, absolutely incredible.
You've obviously got the new lake, the new edition.
The new addition. Yeah,
It's
I
a
mean,
beast.
mine pit we call the Pool of Jewels.
Yeah.
Oak we call the Lake of Dreams. I have absolutely no idea where that lake is going to take us. That lake is 2 years more advanced than Oak was.
Right.
Everything that I learned and applied to Oak took me 2 years to learn.
Yeah.
I applied everything straight away on that lake.
Right.
You know, and we designed that lake and dug that lake for the really serious carp angler, as all the lakes are.
Yeah.
They're not flat-bottomed lakes. They're a bit of a fishery manager's nightmare.
Right.
But from an angling point of view, from the carp welfare point of view, they're ideal.
Yeah. And it's a gorgeous location. Like, you know,
Stunning.
the surrounding of the fields and all the deer and all the wildlife.
Yeah.
It's just amazing.
It is amazing, because when you think about when you first came down here, this lake was quite barren.
Yeah.
The field was barren.
Yes.
We had very little wildlife. It's a typical farm.
Yeah.
You know, barren fields, very little wildlife, very few songbirds. We didn't cut hedges, but again, there wasn't much to attract them here.
Yeah.
It's
just, it is now what it is.
Amazing. It's like an oasis, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's incredible.
So there is another reason why we're here, isn't there?
There is, yes, there is. It is February the 23rd, 2011, we finished digging oak. And it is, I wanted to record, just to get you guys down here to record like a decade of oak.
Yes.
It's quite special, I feel, that, you know, to get what we've done on camera.
Yeah.
To record what we've achieved. We've achieved quite a lot in a very short amount of time.
Yeah.
And I'd like another 5 years, another 10 years, maybe to record again, just to see how much we've progressed. And it's like a little bit of a momentum for my family and the kids and the members to see, go, oh wow, we were part of this at the beginning, and we're now part of it 10 years, and we're now, you know, 20 years in, and we've achieved something. I grew up reading Tiger Bay and, you know, Withy Pool and all those, you know, great iconic books.
Yeah.
And that's what we're about. You know, this is where we want to be.
Yeah. So it's kind of a happy anniversary to the to the lake.
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Happy anniversary to the Oak Lake.